In breaking news, the FBI just announced a break in a case involving a former Olympic snowboarder. Canadian Ryan Wedding is accused of running a major international drug trafficking network. He's been on the run for years now, landing him on the FBI's most wanted list. But federal officials now say he's been arrested. Take a listen.
My name is Kash Patel, I'm Director of the FBI. Today we are here because of President Trump's incredible leadership and commitment to supporting law enforcement across the country and around the world. We are here today to announce another record historic achievement because of law enforcement partnerships across America and across the globe come together to fight crime in all corners of the earth. Today, we are announcing a capture of another FBI's most wanted top 10 fugitive, Ryan Wedding. That makes 6 top 10 FBI captures in 1 year alone. To put that in perspective, that's 2 more than the entirety of the prior administration. And none of this would be possible without the tremendous leadership of Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice and our partners and prosecutors at the United States Attorney's Office here in LA and our Los Angeles field office. Here you'll see many of our brave partners, including the Commissioner of the RCMP, Chief of Police and LAPD, our LA field office, ADIC, along with our partners from DEA and CBP and more. This is what a united front looks like. And just to tell you how bad of a guy Ryan Wedding is, he went from an Olympic snowboarder to the largest narco trafficker in modern times. He is a modern-day El Chapo. He is a modern-day Pablo Escobar. And he thought he could evade justice. But these brave men and women put together a prosecution package, put together an investigative package, put together an operation strategy, and here we are today bringing him to justice for trafficking hundreds of kilos of cocaine and also for the murder of innocent civilians. This individual and his organization and the Sinaloa cartel poured narcotics into the streets of North America and killed too many of our youth and corrupted too many of our citizens. And that ends today. I also want to have a tremendous shout out to the government of Mexico. President Sheinbaum, Secretary Harfuch, and the military and law enforcement officers of Mexico worked hand in glove with our teams on the ground there to apprehend last night in Mexico City, Ryan Wedding. I was privileged to be there on a previously planned trip, and this was a great operation that came together through interagency success because no one behind me and to the side of me cares about credit. They care about putting away the bad guys and safeguarding our communities. That is the leadership that President Trump has brought to the presidency. That is the support that he has brought to law enforcement from coast to coast, and I just can't say how thankful I am to be a small part of this and lead the FBI. These men and women do the hard work. When you go after a guy like Ryan Wedding, it takes a united front, and that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing global partnerships from coast to coast. I want to give a special shout out to our ambassador in Mexico. Ambassador Ron Johnson quarterbacked this effort for us from Mexico for a year plus. As soon as he got to post at our new embassy compound there, he made this a priority, and he came through. This is what leadership looks like. And this is a historic 2025 year the FBI is having. To put it in perspective, the FBI has had 67,000 arrests this year alone. That is a 200% increase. The FBI has captured 6 of the top 10 most fugitives on our board. The FBI has also seized enough fentanyl to kill 150 million Americans, a 31% increase. The FBI has arrested 35% more espionage corrupt actors from China, Russia, the DPRK, and Iran. The FBI has found and identified 6,000 children that were missing. That is up 22%. All of these historic record-breaking numbers lead to another historic record-breaking number brought to you by President Trump's leadership. That is a 20% decline in the murder rate in the United States of America. That is an all-time record for the modern era. Our communities are safeguarded by these men and women. We are thankful to be partnered with the Department of Justice and the relentless efforts to safeguard our communities by Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. But we're not done today. We're going to get back on the plane, and we've captured and apprehended another top 10 fugitive while we were in Mexico, and we're going to head east and hand him over to local law enforcement authorities. I also want to give a huge shout out to state and local law enforcement. This work is not possible at all without them on the front lines every single day. They are the greatest partners we could ever have, and thank God we have a president who backs the blue. And that is what results look like. Personally, for me at the FBI, I want to thank our hostage rescue team. I want to thank our special forces, our special flight operations unit. I want to thank our headquarters component, our LA field office. This was a enterprise-wide success. The moving pieces to pull this off and apprehend one of the world's most wanted criminals and bring him to justice in the United States of America can only be done when you have leadership from the top with President Trump, the Attorney General, and all these great leaders here. I'm going to turn it over to the Assistant Director in charge of the Los Angeles Field Office, Akil Davis, for some more comments on the case itself and the investigation.
All right, let's go live now to CBS News senior coordinating producer Anna Shecter. Anna, thank you so much for your time today. We were just listening to FBI Director Kash Patel there about the arrest of Ryan Wedding. What else can you tell us about that case?
This is a fascinating case. He's been on the FBI's most wanted list, and what Kash Patel is alleging is that he was actually smuggling hundreds of thousands of tons of cocaine as a member of the Sinaloa cartel. So when I read that this morning, I mean, that is bonkers. So this is a Canadian former pro snowboarder. He was like 24th in 2002, so not exactly, you know, a gold medalist, but still a former Olympic athlete from Canada who had been living in Mexico for years, helping to run drugs originally from Colombia through Mexico up into California and spreading out into the rest of the United States and into Canada. So obviously this is a big win for the FBI. You've heard they're thanking the Mexican officials. He was arrested last night in Mexico City. You can just imagine the special forces that were involved in that arrest. It appeared to be relatively quiet. We haven't seen any video or images of that, but obviously a very well-coordinated takedown. There have been a lot of resources put to this case, and he was only just now, last night, arrested. He's being transported to the U.S. to face justice. This is also a big deal for Canadians. This is a Canadian citizen. You see there the FBI most wanted flyer that's been pushed out by the FBI. The reward for him had been upped to $15 million. That is a huge number even for somebody on the FBI most wanted list. So this is a big day for the FBI, and it'll be interesting to see how the United States justice system plays out in this case, how he pleads, and if it actually does go to trial or if he takes a plea deal.
All right, we shall wait and see. Anna Shecter, as always, thanks for your time.